Hello, everyone. Now, this is what if Deku, or what if Eren was an MHA. Now, sorry, Izuku, but you are not going to be in this. So, Izuku will never, or is not in this. Sorry, everyone, that, we all are Izuku fans, think he is the prized possession of the Cimarron roles. So, yeah. Also, how is Eren going to get into, MHA, the My Hero Academia? Well, I think this is true, but I'm not completely sure. When he did do the whole founding Titan, that took a strain on his body, which then led to him only having 5 years left. Now, in those 5 years, he would have spent it with his wife. Yes, his wife. Now, my theory is Historia, the queen, from Attack on Titan, is actually it's Eren's kid. But that's my own theory. And he spent it with them, and yes, in secrecy, but he still spent it. Historia would come by to where Eren was hiding out because he still killed a lot of people. So he was not a well-liked person. So he was like, okay, I have to settle down, hide myself. So yeah, but Historia would always be by his side, and a select few would actually know of his, where he is. Now, one of those people is Levi. And, over before Eren eventually dies, Levi somewhat forgave him. At least, he forgave him for killing the, Marlenes, not everyone else. So, yeah. But, anyways, he would, forgive it for them because he knew what they did to Eren. Like, they killed his mother, and, Sasha, and yeah, everyone else that I've killed along the way. So, yeah, even Levi understood why Eren did it. He's just like, he went about it in the wrong way. But, you can't do anything too much now. So, yeah. But, Eren would eventually die and a peaceful sleep when he was sleeping. Now, everyone knew, Eren was going to eventually die, so, yeah. So he wasn't a big sought-after person, because, he was literally just on borrowed time at the moment, so it wouldn't matter if they found him and put him in prison. He would still die. Unless they execute him, but yeah. So, anyways, backstory. Eren would eventually die in his peaceful sleep, and, as soon as he died, he was in a black fog looking around and thinking his time finally came and he was going to go to the afterlife. No, heaven or hell. Or most likely hell, but my opinion. Who knows? But, when he opens he kind of flickers his eyes and then just sees a bright light. Now, I do have to say something before I go into, MHA. No one in Attack on Titan will be in it. I will repeat that. No one from Attack on Titan. And also, his powers will be the Armored Titan, the Attack Titan, not the Founding Titan, and his whole hardening power with the Attack Titan. Now, I'm degrading him, so he doesn't know, he can't just do the Founding Titan and do, Founding Titan things. And the others, like the Warhammer, because that's I have to, be at least, some debuffing him, because we all know how OP Eren is. At least in the Attack on Titan world. So, yeah. Also, if you're wondering what the Armored Titan looks like, I actually found a picture. Also, all pictures are owned by the respected artist, and I don't own or in league with anything in Attack on Titan, and these people that make these pictures. Also, if you know in Season 4 how they have those new get-ups, he has that also. And this is what it looks like. This is the Armored Titan. I do believe that suits him quite well with the Armored Titan look. So, yeah. And, regular Titan Eren. So, yeah. Anyways, Eren would wake up or see the flashing or the light coming very fast at him. He would just think that it might just be his time to, I get to go to hell or heaven. But, when the light hits him, he is surrounded by light, and all he can see is whiteness, or light, or white, just all around him. And then he wakes up, or at least he thinks he wakes up. But then looking around, while only feeling he can be able to move his eyes, would have looked and see a loving, well, a woman with green hair and green eyes, holding him like he's her world. Now, this would obviously be Inko giving birth to Izuku. And this is when Izuku opens his eyes. Or Eren, at least. She thinks or it technically he is like Izuku, but I'm using Inko as kind of like, oh, how do you get in? So, yeah. And she would name him Eren, or she would ask her husband, Hasashi, what should they name him? Now, Hasashi is actually part American and Chinese, but more American than Chinese. His mother was Chinese and his father was American. And, well, he would have just said Eren. How about that? Now, Izuku in this would be very confused. Not Izuku. Eren. Eren would be very confused. And, well, no one would blame him. He thought he was going to die, and he winds up coming here. Now, he does feel some remorse of what he did, but he knew he had to do it. But maybe he thinks it might be his now time to redemption, or something like that. And think it might be another chance to live a better life, and other things. So, yeah. Growing up with, well, Hasashi would still be, absent, but Izuku would have more memories being the smarter Eren would have been smarter with, Eren's more like in his, how should I explain this in Eren when he's young? It's like he has in his mind, he's very smart, but he can't make words because he's still growing, he's a baby. So he also goes by those like, oh, your kid can only talk at this age, and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. But in his mind, he could think as much as he likes, think about whatever he likes to think, think strategically and, that kind of stuff. And while he's waiting, he, looks around when he's younger, watches his mom, and a lot of stuff. Now, she would just think of Izuku's very clingy to her and love her a lot. But Izuku is actually just wanting to learn more about his mother. Seeing he does, the backstory of Eren, he saw his mother dying. Well, yes, Eren is somewhat like clinging to his mother or second mother, because he doesn't want her to die, but, well, he knows that eventually something might happen, or, the whole thing might happen, but he's also like wanting to understand that he heard about powers, but, like quirks, but he only heard the word quirk and superpower. Now, he thought maybe more, titans and titan shifters. But he realized quickly that that was wrong, promising Inko used telekinesis. Weak, yes, but telekinesis nonetheless. And he would be weirded out by this, only knowing titan powers, but he wouldn't care. He would love his mother, even if it's his second. Now, Eren would promptly grow up, and at the age of 10, going to middle school. Or no, he goes to, he grows up, goes to school or kindergarten, and meets Bakugo, and they get it up pretty nice. Bakugo gets his quirk first. Now, Izuku, or why do I always say Izuku? It's a MHA, I know, but it's Eren. Eren would be very hesitant in this, using his, Titan powers. He doesn't know if his powers from before transferred, or if he got something new, or anything like that. Or he just had a quirk, and he had no Titan shifter powers. But when he goes to, to his test, he is named Quirkless. Now, there was something weird about his mind that they did a test on, but it was just rounded out to be him being a very smart person. And Inko knew this, for a fact, because she saw her son, walking at the age of, 3, when he should be walking at the age of 4. No, I'm stupid. He would start walking at the age of... I'll say he started walking, a very weakly wobbling around the age of 3. And it would learn to crawl pretty fast. So, yeah. Now, Eren would go to school, yes, get bullied, but, Eren. he's still the old personality of before. Cold, calculating, and makes him the loner of the group. Now, he is very, Izuku, or, kind of like Izuku in this story, or in the MHA, to his mother, and all to his friends. Now, at the moment, it's only Inko seeing, he has, like, the regular MHA, because I don't see why changing his whole school. He would only have Bakugo, but, Quirk and that. So, he wouldn't meet anyone else, and no one else from the other, Class 1A or Class 1B would go to his school. Don't see the point in changing that. And, he would grow up to the age of 13. Now, Yue is a college in this, so he still has a little more time, which gives me a little more leeway. Now, in this, he's actually that day, he leaves school and, yes, gets berated by Bakugo, putting on the whole front of, being scared of Bakugo. But doesn't care because, today's his test day. Or at least his, way to figure out what he has at the powers. Now, he would go to the forest, telling his mother he's out with friends, lying, but, and he would go to the forest. Now, no one's in the forest, it's quite big. Now, no one can really see him unless they have, some sort of scope or something like that. Just, zoom in on him. But he's gone far enough. He puts down his backpack and goes a little farther away from his backpack and the stuff he just dropped and takes off his clothes, except for his pants. You have to be, can't be too perverted. And, bites down his finger. And he thought, I want to become a Titan. Or at least I want to become the Attack Titan. Because if you don't know, he needs to injure himself and have a reason of, go to Titan form. So, and lightning or orange lightning was scattered around him, the whole, how he changes into a Titan. Now, he would have looked around, noticing that he is completely, in his Titan. He moves around, he's not too, he's rusty, but he can move around quite easily, because, it just took him a second, get back to the height. And he's like, okay, I can move, and he hardens his fist and realizes he can harden his fist. And he's like, alright, and what about the Warhammer? He would try, fail. He thinks, alright, maybe not all of my powers, but at least the Attack Titan's with me. Then try to use the Armor Titan. Now, how does he have Armor Titan? Well, let's just say Reiner was captured and killed and he got the blood. I don't know in the plot of how he, if Reiner died or not, in the manga, after the old, him killing everyone. So, yeah, but I'll say he got the old power of Reiner for the Armor Titan. He would do so and it would work. He's not shocked, but he's like, oh, this is useful. Because, come on, the Armor Titan, yeah. It's basically the Attack Titan on steroids, if you think about it. Because it can do the backs. It might have slightly lesser movement, but it's still a very good Titan nonetheless. The armor helps a lot. And so, he turns back and, looks at the Titans, that he's still there, because they didn't despawn. And he's like, but then they kind of how do I explain? You know how in Avengers, how they all kind of turned to dust and, they kind of just blew away? It's basically that. Those Titans, that's how it happens. At least, it's just my way, so you don't have the Titans just laying around, because the rule still applies with Izuku, or Eren, with the Titans. If someone, drinks his, or injects himself with the Titan fluid of their spine, and bites on Izuku, they can be a Titan. But he's not he's not saying, oh, I should not say that, I could lose my advantage. Because if I ever get captured, they could just take my powers away and use it for their own uses. So he's smart. He's not fooling around. He would go back, put his clothes back on, and yeah. Because he knew if he tried to use the Founding Titan, it might have, drawbacks, a lot of drawbacks to it. So he's not ever going to use it again, just for plot, because I don't want him, oh, I only have 5 years left. Yeah, yeah. He does not want to use the Founding Titan, and nor does he have it. So if you ever tried it, it was just like, yeah, no, you can't do it. No, there's no recap. There's nothing bad if he does it. It's just like it does not work. So yeah. And he would go back. His mother would ask of why he has blood on his hand. He would just look down, realizing, oh shit, I should have cleaned that off, and just says, oh, sorry, I kind of, well, no, sorry, it's just giving off excuse of, I'll just say it's like, oh, I was just working on something with a friend. They asked me to help, and I did. It was just it had fake blood. Sorry. And also, yeah, it's like it's fall, so December is coming around, so people are making the whole costumes, or not fall. I'm stupid. It's like Halloween. Halloween's nearby, so people are now making their costume, and well, Inko asks him of what he wants to be for Halloween. He thinks about saying, well, I might as well. It could be useful. And says, I want to try making my own costume. Saying I want to try to become a hero, I might as well try to make my own costume and maybe use it, see if I like it or not. There's designs I'd like to try, but... And Inko gets a stern look saying, no, you're not going to become a hero. It's too dangerous. I wouldn't know what to do if you got hurt. Being, yes, a concerned mother. Now, Eren would have not taken offense to you shouldn't become a hero because, well, the same thing happened with his mother. And he completely understands why. Of, the whole don't become a titan or don't become a hero. And for him, it was don't become a scout. It's basically the same thing. He would have ensured his mom that he won't do anything to rush. And he would always, well, come back to her. He swearly promises that to her. She's like, yeah, but still don't. Izuku being, well, or not Eren. I'm sorry if I'm mixing that up. I know I'm going to mix it up basically throughout this entire video, but if I ever say Zuko or Deku or something like that, it means Eren. So, yeah. Now, Eren would, well, just wave her off and going off. Now, he would look at his clothing and look that nothing's really hero-like material, so he goes out or goes on his computer, looking for pieces of metal, realizing those are expensive. But through his mother, he found out about Dagobah Beach. Now, he would buy a jumpsuit that was quite cheap, but it's has this is the black jumpsuit. In the back of this, where all his gear is like on top of it. He would buy that and go on to Dagobah Beach. Find there's a lot of metals. Now, he would know how to make or at least the armor of the old gear. He would make it and, well, he would like it. It suits him and is a good size for him. Nothing too much different back in, paradise, but it still suits him. He makes one for himself. Now, the whole, grappling hook system, that took a time. Now, yes, he's 13, but he's very, he needs to get back into the whole, fling, shing, 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 jumping around with the thing. It has lost his, touch. And for the rest of the whole day, or for the rest of that whole year, he makes the, that thing. Because it was very intricate and it took him a lot of time. Now, he wouldn't make the blades, like the blade holster, but he's still he's iffy about that part. Because he does not know, oh, I have blades. That might be intimidating. But on the other hand, he also thinks, yes, that might be intimidating, but it'll scare the shit out of villains. But anyways, Eren would now, over the next year, finish his whole grappling suit and bring it home. His mother would have been curious and asking, oh, what's that? Him saying it's his support gear for becoming a hero. It's rough, but it's gonna have to do. This is only the Mark 1. Now, it took him an entire year to build the first one only because he did not know how to build it in the first place. He heard little things from, their mechanic, or from different people when he was alive, in Attack on Titan, but never knew how to actually make it. So it took him a little time. And she was like, oh, what can I do? Proceeding to touch one of the triggers, getting a hole through one of her walls, saying, what the hell, what is that? Him yanking the entire, thing that just went into the whole wall, and saying it's a grappling hook. Don't touch the trigger. I'll show you. He goes to the systems and she just asks, oh, what's this? Pointing to the inside of the, sword gauntlet, or the handle, and asks, does something go in here? Izuku saying, yes, but I don't know if I should do it or not. She asks, oh, what is it? Well, I was wondering if I could make blades out of this. Like, add blades so it's easier and I have some sort of weapon. Yes, I can use my hands, but that would be too difficult, and this way I can maneuver easily and I can attack in more fluid motions. When I go down, I'm going to save the speech. He tells her about the whole, like, oh, I can move around and stuff. She's like, how are you going to learn to do all that? Him saying, by training. She's like, where are you going to train? Well, I'm going to try training in the forest, but if that doesn't work, I'm going to try training somewhere else. Now, she would have been like, I don't want him to become a hero, but we'll keep that to herself. Eren would now, years pass by, him learning his whole, the old thing back again, becoming a master at it. As well as he actually decided on making the blades. So, yeah. Now, he would also, he thought about using guns, but, he was like, no, that might not be the total of the, safest thing to do. Because he flies around. If he's flying around, that would be very hard to shoot. Unless he's using a spray weapon. But then it could cause or injuries to people he does not want to, casualties, basically. Or just hurting innocent people. So, yeah. And, he finishes his Mark V of the suit. Now, this is the, Season 4 grappling hook, the whole thing. It's quite fast and everything like that. And Inko is over the years wanting not her son to go, and she insists on not letting him. Izuku just always saying that he won't get hurt, I promise. Now, Baka would, one time seeing Izuku practice and get mad and saying Izuku's worthless and stuff like that. Now, Eren, I'm stupid. I say Izuku, but I mean Eren. Eren would brush it off and just says, I don't care, Bakugo. That's your opinion, not mine. I'm going to become a hero with my own power. And Bakugo would simply say that, then how are you going to do without this? Blowing up the suit, or his Mark IV. Izuku getting a very pissed off look, and a stern look at Bakugo saying, Bakugo. Now Bakugo, not knowing Izuku could do this, is like, Izuku? Or, no, Eren? Why are you looking at me like that way? Bakugo Katsuki. Also, he would not give the name to Kachan. Bakugo Katsuki. Giving him one of those devilish smiles. Terrifying Bakugo saying, Izuku, what are you doing? And proceeding to piss off Bakugo by punching him in the face, dislocating his mouth, leaving several bruises around his body, and a good one with a black eye. Now, he would go back running with, beaten up, but gone back home, and his mother looks at Bakugo saying, what happened to you? Did a villain do this? I'm going to call the police. He's like, Argh. Still, having a, the jaw is still, dislocated. He's like, don't. But she can make out, don't. And she's like, why? She was like, you pissed off Eren? He would nod, and she was like, why'd you do that? And why did he hit you? She never does that. Are you lying to me? Are you fighting? And she goes on, the motherly instincts of Mitsuki happen. Now, after she painfully puts his jaw back. Bakugo gives the explanation because she kind of got tired of, the old, you know, the barely, like most of it's mostly just air coming out his mouth. So, yeah. So, well, afterwards, he goes back to Zuku with his mother, obviously, and his dad was working, so he couldn't go. He was informed, yes, but he couldn't go. He was working, so I just said that, so I'm stupid. Anyways, he would say, sorry, Zuko. Izuku just saying, don't do that again. And don't just come into me and say I can't become a hero. And basically he would have been saying, Izuku, why do you want to become a hero? You're quirkless. Saying, I want to inspire people. I want to make people, giving them an entire speech of why. Now Mitsuki was moved. She's like, this boy can speak. Jesus Christ. It's like he was blessed by God. So, yeah, she was like moved and she said, alright, then good luck. And just says, now, Bakugo, your punishment. And he's like, oh shit. So, yeah. But back to Zuko. Now, Inko would hear the inspiring story and now realize what her son is trying to do. Inspire quirkless people and, well, yeah. And that's his actual general thing. He wants to help people. Yes, technically he is quirkless, but he has the powers from the other the Attack on Titan world. So, yeah. Now, well, we would skip a little longer to the entrance exam. Now, in this, he, almost got rejected for being quirkless, but they let him in to at least let him try, try to be equality. And how he got in was because of Nezu. Because, Vlad was seeing the picture of Izuku and looked down and said it's quirkless. He was about to throw in the trash bin, but Nezu just said, no, let him try. We need people, we need, different people now. Everyone's being unfair to quirkless people. If he can get in, he might change the world, or at least change the perspective on people. Vlad was hesitant, but, he was the employee, he was talking to his boss, so, yeah. He couldn't really do much, because he could get fired, or other such things. But he wanted to keep his job, and yeah. Now, when I saw hears about this, he's like intrigued, like, a quirkless hero. I wonder if he's gonna be well trained. And Izuku is actually the only person that was quirkless in the test, in the test, because everyone had a quirk. And when people look over them, they see the body plates on his chest, and other things. They were not concerned, just like curious, like, oh, is that like some sort of quirk he has, or maybe it's support equipment? Now, yes, Izuku does the old test of, studying tests and that kind of stuff, not having a single problem because he's a smart boy. And you do actually pretty good in the engineering, because he had to build the thing from scratch, his whole, the grappling hook from scratch. And he would be probably smart, at least in that kind of mechanics, but anything else, and, other mechanics like technology, seeing this was low-grade technology, so it wasn't high-grade. So the man cannot do the whole super smart technology like Mei Hatsume, but he could understand what Mei Hatsume's saying, technologically speaking, but he could not do it, is what I'm trying to say. He could understand but not be able to do it, having the lack of experience and other such things. But anyways, when they go to the entrance exam, Ida still remarks, or still goes the whole thing of there's a third or fourth robot, and says that's a disgrace. Deku immediately getting up, saying let the teacher finish. He wasn't done. And do you always have a stick up your ass? Which would actually make Bakugo laugh, because he was about to say that. And, Ida says, how rude. Do you know who I am? Izuku giving him the, look up, look down, and says, yeah, you're that, pro hero, the, Ingenium's brother, right? Younger brother? He says, Yeah, so you must treat me. And Izuku says, I don't give a rat's ass who the hell you are. I don't care about your father, your mother, or your brother. Even if you have other brothers, I wouldn't care. You are just a spoiled brat that's going to get in because you have a decent quirk and, well, you know, goes down to insulting Ida, but stopping when Press Mike says that's enough with a bickering. So, yeah. He was respectful and he stopped, saying, yes, teacher, bowing and saying sorry if I intruded. Now, well, if you don't know, everyone, or I think this is actually a thing in MHA, but you can get support course items in the whole entrance exam. How filling out a piece of paper, the old signing of, oh, if you have this, it can help you with your quirk. But, well, they allowed Izuku because, well, he's quirkless. Now, they would be curious, they would have the right to be curious because, they are not stupid, and Izuku's not stupid. So, he would come out, and Ito would just look at Izuku, giving the, up, look down, saying, you cannot have support course items. You need to leave, or else you will get it. Will never be able to. You have to take that off, or else you will not be able to get in. Izuku says you actually are allowed to bring stuff in, and well, I need it because I'm quirkless. Now that would immediately, everyone that was booking just stopped, looking over and giving Izuku a dead eye, saying, "Wow, a quirkless kid trying to become a hero. Who would ever thought?" They all bigger about Izuku, insulting him. Izuku just rolling his eyes, saying how people are so immature. And, well, honestly, I don't feel bad for all those people I killed. But he would say that on his breath. But, well, no one heard that. But Ito said, what did you just say? Izuku saying, none of your business. Look, I don't want to have a problem with you, but if I have to, I will. Just leave me be and I'll leave you be. Here, I'll only put in simple terms. I don't fuck with you, you don't fuck with me. Got it? Stick up your ass, boy. Ito is like, how dare you? But realized he basically got his ass roasted and does not have a comeback. Unless he wants to be a spoiled brat. Which in his mind would not be, good for the Tenya name. And just says, whatever. Good luck. Now, people are actually not looking at Zuko per se, but they're looking at his gear. Wondering what kind of gear he's wearing. They know he's quirkless at that point, but they're just like, oh, he's quirkless, but he has some sort of gear around him. Maybe some sort of way to help him move around or mobility. Now, they see kind of like the sword hilts with the kind of triggers on them. And the kind of things on them, and they're like, oh, what are those? And, well, they see these several other kind of things sticking out, aka being these several other blades, and they would not, well, be concerned, or they would not be, the old, what are those? They would be concerned, but yeah. Now, well, let's skip to the, what teachers are looking down. Before President Mike always says the old, oh, let's go. As I would be looking at a certain camera, the one that, well, has Izuku and, well, other people like Tenya and Uraka. And, well, he'll be dead-eyeing Izuku. Ah, damn it, Izuku. Eren. And, Alma would ask of, who's that? Him saying that is Eren Midoriya. He's part American, or at least some American, and at least mostly Japanese. He filled our form out to get a support course item, or a support item. Though, we do know why he did that. And All My Way is like, oh, why? He's quirkless. Which brings a frown to All Might's face, saying, why is he going there? It's not like I don't feel I don't feel sad for him being quirkless. It's just like, he can't become a hero without a quirk. Now, Aizawa is like, pardon? I fight quirkless every single day. And I'm a badass, why can't he? Just because he has no way to turn off quirk does not mean his whole, looking at the camera again, thing, support course, the support item can't do anything. All we know can make him fly. Or other cool things, or other things. And, well, Izuku not hearing this, so, yeah. And plus, All Might, he might give a good successor. No, I'm not giving him one for all. And All Might was like, successor, you say. And he does look at Zuko, and he looks like he's well built from just by looking through the camera. He's lean, but you can tell that there's definitely some muscles underneath the, suit. And President Mike says, all right, my time to go. And, well, he speaks to the mic with everyone else hearing downstairs saying, all right, everyone, get ready. As soon as those doors, you have to go. And Izuku hearing, all right. And he says, 3, doors open. Not enough for him to go, but they're opening. 2, it opens the way, or at least enough for him to get out. And you hear a bang, bang on, well, the door, both sides. And they're like, what was that? They see Izuku, the grappling hook, on his ways, but it's launched out, making him fling like a, the old flinging. He flung himself out. Ito said, he's cheating, he needs to be disqualified. But President Mike says, follow that guy. There's no countdowns in a real battle. And when they see Zuko, slingshot himself, they're like, what the hell was that? But then they see Zuko masterfully, maneuvers with the gadget that he has. And they're like, he's skilled. He must have been practicing for a long time. Now his eye is like, And, well, Izuku... Damn it, I'm saying Izuku, not Eren. I need to get that right. Sorry, everyone. I know you probably are just texting my comments now, saying it's Izuku, not Eren, or it's Eren. See, I'm mixing up myself. It's Eren, not Izuku. I know. I screw up. But anyways, they would see him masterfully doing that. Now, Aizawa would look down at the handles and see that there's nothing. It's kind of like he thinks the control, how to adjust the settings or maybe just, move around. But when Izuku goes by to see a 0-pointer, he goes down, or at least, does a swing down. And, well, he goes to that, well, the blue, or, the big metal square thing that no one knows what's in it. Or they see something poking out, and you hear a click, and it's revealed to be a sword. And they're like, wait, is that thing controllable and a sword at the same time? And as I was just like eating this up, like, I want him in my class, I want him in my class. And I see Izuku masterfully hit the joints of these, said 0-pointer, or not 0-pointer, 1-pointer. And he pronounced to obliterate any robots that came his way, acquiring a good 60 points. Now, yes, his movement would have been good, but he has metal swords, and it's metal, so he had to switch about 2 times, or wait, he has 4 on each, and he has, and you add 2 at the start. I'll say he only has like 1 set left of 2 swords, and one of them is about to break, and the other's like from the time before. So yeah. But anyways, Izuku would now hear a would have been the blade breaking. He switches it off. He doesn't care about that when it breaks. He thinks there's maybe someone will pick it up. I don't know. But yeah, he would disconnected and, well, go into his sheath again and, shing. But then, here, dun, dun, dun. Looking around and leaning, on the wall of a building, being grappled up to the roof. Kind of using that as kind of like a vantage point. Looking off and, realizing there is the 0-pointer that, President Mike was telling them about. He grinned, but, was about to, tighten up, but realized that was not a good thing. He has to be, secret. He's quirkless, and he has never shown a quirk. So that has to be using very sparingly, or at least, he can't use it, non-stop. But when he then he sees everyone running away. But well, he would also see a girl get collapsed off of a building. This would still be Uraka. So yeah, no, Uraka's not the ship. And well, he would have been just get a not so happy look, thinking that no one here is going to try to save a girl. How rude of them. But well, he uses his the grappling hook system, leap off the old wall and go help her. Now, he would land with a like a nice skeet sound, He had momentum, so he kind of just skidded across the floor, or the ground, seeing Uraka and using his sword, kind of like a way to like move the rock, lift it up a tiny bit, getting Uraka's out. Uraka just saying, "Who are you?" And saying, "No time, gotta go." And he would pronounce bolt, using his, or only using one, but still being quite good at it. Yes, he didn't have the full mobility, but it was enough. He getting out and giving her to Ida, saying, "Get her away." Ida would just say, "What are you gonna do?" Him saying, "I'm gonna take that damn thing down," giving a grin, a devilish grin, but still a grin. It was more a passionate grin, but anyways. Ida says, "Are you crazy or quirkless? How can you?" But he's already gone. Uraka just says, "What happened? Where is he?" Ida was like, "He went up to fight the zero pointer." Now Uraka's like, "What? He can't. How is he gonna win against that damn thing? Or how is he gonna win against that massive robot? It's so big." Now Izuku's trying his ass off, but the armor on the zero point is too thick. It broke both of his blades, and he had no blades left. Now as I was also intentionally watching it, thinking, what will he do? His blades are broken, and he has nothing left to fight with. What does Izuku do? Oh, the man tries to rip the damn head off of the thing. How? Grapple onto one wall, grappling to the head of it, retracting the grappling hooks to try to bend it back. But all he ends up doing is forcing it back and kind of making it walk back closer to him. And he ends up getting a bitch slap right into a wall. Inside, yes, so no one can really see him. Now he's pronounced bleeding quite a bit. Going through that entire wall was very painful. Now smoke is coming off of him, but no one can see. He still regenerate. He still has that regenerate. The regeneration ability. He can heal all wounds, or basically all wounds. Yeah, no, all wounds, and the whole you can heal your any limbs that got severed. You know that kind of stuff. Then he would be healed, and he would look at his now lost arm, it regenerating. Now he thought that he could use his Titan. But he says, might as well. The cat's. I'm gonna have to get the cat out of the bag. Anyways, now, he gets. He regenerates his arm and he walks back to the window or the hole they made. Now everyone in there sees him. He took off his whole, the what's it called? The gear that he had on because it was broken. He had nothing. But just a knife. Now everyone in everyone that's watching there and in the room, the watching room was like, is he stupid or something? Or is he so stupid, or is he just that brave? I still think he's more brave, but thinks he has a plan. Izuku would slit his hand and jump. They're like, what the hell is he thinking? But then something weird happens. Lightning forms around him in a yellow ball. And, then they just see this. And they're like, what the hell is that? I thought he was quirkless. And everyone's thinking that. And he's like, Izuku's probably like the same height as the damn thing, like the 0 pointer. He gives him like a 1 up, like up. He looks up and then down. He's like, he can't talk, but he's like, he can make groans. It's like, and he just like pulls back his arm, just like, he just like unloads on the 0 pointer. The 0 pointer got a dent in his head. He pronounced using different fighting styles that he learned, annihilates the 0 pointer, flinging it around like a rag doll, doing a whole suplex on the damn thing, and then it blew up, and everyone then looked at him. Blood was coming off his Titan, because of the explosion. That thing did explode. Several metal pieces are in him. They think Izuku's hurt and go up, say, "Is he okay?" At least Recover Girl does it, but they see smoke coming off the back of his neck, or at least underneath, revealing Izuku. Or, not Izuku, I'm just doing Eren. Eren coming off with his steel, Titan shifter marks, the eye things that happen when he turns into a Titan. So, yeah. But they eventually, 5 seconds later, they're gone. People didn't notice it, but it's just like his healing factor kicked in. He pronounced to, get off his Titan and go down. Landing gracefully, with his Titan disintegrating. They were like, "Oh, that thing disintegrated. How the..." But, now I should also explain something else. When All Might saw that, he's like, "All for one." But he's wrong. We all know. It's, Attack on Titan. But, anyways, I was like, wait. He looks at Nezu's like, "Isn't he quirkless?" Nezu looks at the paper and, blinking and looking at it again, saying, "Yes. How is that? How does he, have a quirk?" He doesn't think about all for one, but he thinks maybe he got a quirk somehow. All Might, did you give him your quirk? "No, Nezu, I didn't give him, but this might be All for One's doing." Nezu think, "I doubt it. He would have not just shown his power, and he would know that we would have his papers." Giving a very smart explanation, because Eren thinks like, "Oh, now I'm kind of found out." Now, Heroes come down and asks Izuku to, come with them. Izuku, knowing that the cat's out of the bag, would just says, "Alright, just give me 1 second." He goes up to the, building he crashed into, grabbing the mangled kit that he didn't make, but go down, and he just says, "Sorry, I need to grab my kit." And they're like, "Oh, alright." And, yeah. They would go to Nezu's office. Now, I saw All Might and Nezu would be there, seeing it's Nezu's office, and, ask Izuku, or not Izuku, "Eren, your name is Eren Midoriya, right?" Izuku says, "Oh, damn it. Eren would have just said yes. Why? It says everything I have on my paper. Though, I guess why I'm here is because you saw what I did, right?" And, Nezu would just say, "Yes, how did you do that? It says here you're quirkless, but yet you can turn into a giant of yourself. How is that possible?" Izuku saying, "It's not a quirk, I can tell you that for sure. And before you say, that's impossible," because I was about to say that, like his mouth was like open, the words didn't come out. "I'm not from around here. Seeing my powers are, out of the bag, I might as well tell you who I actually am. My name's Eren Yeager. Yes, I'm Izuku Midoriya, but my true name is Eren Yeager. I'm not from this world. I'm from another. I died in it and I supposedly came here. And I have no intentions of hurting anyone. I want to become a hero. Though, looking down into saying I don't have a good past." Amita says, "What do you mean?" Izuku saying, "Do you remember what I turned into?" Aizawa just says, "Yes, what about it?" "Where I come from, there's more of those. They're mindless creatures, but they still are they are killing machines. The only reason why I can turn into it because I'm a Titan shifter. Think of it like a human can turn into those and have the powers of a Titan. We call them Titans, by the way. Nezu just understanding this, Izuku gave it like a simple explanation. Just alright, but why did you become a Titan shifter? Eren would have looked down, saying, "My father turned me into it when I was the age of 10, and after my mother died." And well, Nezu's just like, "Your mother died. How did she die?" He knows that it was kind of like bad for him. He had to know, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Him saying, "I saw my mother get eaten by one of those right in front of my eyes. And ever since I wanted to kill the Titans. I was naive, but it was my dream." Explaining what he did, at least, to a certain degree. But then keeps off the part of the Marlenes. And Aizawa tells he's lying and says, "There's more to it, isn't there? What aren't you telling us?" Izuku saying, "You would put me in jail if I told you. It was for the greater good, I can tell you that for sure, but it wasn't right, what I did. The amount of people I hurt, it wasn't... Yes, it was worth the cost, but it still hurts I killed it. Alright, fine, I'll tell you. I killed so many people. I wanted freedom for my people. People from outside where we live wanted us dead, no matter what. They called us devils. Yes, most of us, were fight like devils, yes, but we weren't devils. We just had tragic backstories. My former captain, named Levi. He was poor then brought up. He grew up as a criminal. But stopped being a criminal once he got captured and became a scout. A badass one at that. They also used the equipment I was using before that you saw me, with the swords and the whole suit I was wearing. He's wearing this, but he hasn't been able to change. Now, All Might says, "So you killed people. So you're a villain." Izuku saying, "No. I did what it was for the greater good. There's no heroes where I come from, All Might." Standing up, and you hear the skeet, from the chair. Then All Might saying, "I did what was necessary. Yes, I regret it. I regret it every single day. But I still live with the fact that I killed those people. Yes, I killed those people. I murdered them. But yet I'm still standing here wanting to do good. Redeem myself, or even if I am redeemable. And if I'm not, I'll make damn sure I did some good. After what I did. So don't you dare All Might say I'm a villain." Now All Might's like, you, damn you. Because, they're only going off with, Eren saying. Now he's always like, "Wait, you did it for the greater good." Izuku's looking at, "No." As I was saying, I did. I did what was necessary. I wanted freedom for my people. Is that so bad to accept? Freedom. Aizawa looks at Nezu giving him a nod saying, "No." Or Aizawa just says, "No." That's understandable. For how much those people have probably killed you, from what I'm guessing, it wasn't pleasant. Plus, I'm guessing they had something to do with your mother, from how you became a Titan shifter. Your father must have had that serum somehow, because he explained how the serum and that. And Zuko saying, "Yeah. You remember how I turned into the Titan before? I have another one. It's named the Armored Titan. It lacks mobility and other things, but it's very hard to take down. It's why it's called the Armored Titan." They ask what it looks like. Him thinking of telling them it looks like where skin-wise, like a big rock. Like rocks on his skin, in a way. And he does ask if he can go now. He does have to go back home. All Might was like, "No, you stay here. I want to keep an eye on you." But Ness is saying, "All Might, we cannot hold him here. He's a person and, he did what he thought was right. That's all we can do, All Might. Do what we think was right." Plus, he regrets what he did. That's another thing. And it's not like we can back any of this stuff up. A person from another world coming to ours after they died, having unbelievable powers. And, well, very skilled at that. How are you going to put this up in court, All Might? All Might thinks and says, I'll figure out a way. Nezu slaps his face, saying, All Might, you're a moron. All Might says, I'm not a moron, he's a villain. Also, Izuku left, but no one knows. Only Aizawa is like, wow, he's sneaky. And they look over to where Izuku was, and like they ask him where he was. Where is his? Or All Might says, where is that villain? Or where's Eren? We need to arrest him. Well, as I was just saying, he left when you two were bickering. Honestly, he's quite quiet when he likes to be. Though it's understandable for what happened to him. All Might says, I'm gonna go get him. All Might getting, puffing down, saying, what? And looks at Aizawa, erasing his quirk, saying, Aizawa, we need to take him down. Aizawa saying, look, All Might, say you brought him in. Say you arrested him and everything and charged him. How would your story be put up in court? We are the only three that know about this, or at least we know his secret. He knows, he's not stupid. He knows Izuku knows his own thing, so yeah. But anyways, yeah. And All Might thinks and realizes or at least using his last brain cells he acquired, thinks, oh yeah, you're right. And Aizawa just says, thank God you're not as moronic as I thought. Though, you're still a moron. So, yeah. Now, All Might has not given his quirk to anyone yet. And, well, he's definitely not going to give it to Eren. So, yeah. And, yeah. Izuku goes home to see his mother, pacing, and she looks over to Izuku saying, or Eren saying, Eren, what happened? You were gone for so long. Him saying, we need to talk. There's something I've been keeping secret from you. She's like, what is it, Izuku? I'm sure it's not that bad. He tells her, and she's like, you killed so many. But why? I thought I was doing the right thing, Mom. I wanted to kill them all because they hurt me. They killed my first mother. And they made me see, or they didn't realize it, but I saw my first mother die right in front of my eyes, getting eaten by a titan. And then they were going to kill all of my friends, my family, my son and my wife. Or at least my future wife and my future son. I couldn't bear to not do anything. I unleashed my full power. I used my founding titan's power, which I don't believe I have anymore, but I killed so many. I'm not proud of it, Mom, but I happened. She's like, so, what are you going to do now? Saddened, but she says, what are you going to do now? Izuku gets up, brushing his, pants off, saying, I'm going to redeem myself. I'm going to become the best hero I can possibly be. Help as many people as I possibly can. And, no matter what, I won't kill anyone. I'm done killing. That was the old me. This is the new me. She's like, oh, alright. Smiling at Izuku, and she does ask, so, who's my granddaughter? And Izuku says, oh. And also, who's my, daughter-in-law? He's like, oh, that's a good question. He explains who Historia, and she's like, she's a queen? Damn. You got good. Izuku smiles, saying, I did indeed. My son was his name. I don't know his son's name, or I don't know the son of the son of Historia's name, but I'll name him Jackson. And Jackson, I loved him when he was 6 years old. She asks, why? What happened? Do you remember when I said I had that founding titan's power? Yeah. It costed a lot. I only had so many years left to live. So I made the most of it and married my wife, or my future wife, and gave her a kid. Though I hope she's doing alright. So, yeah. She's like, oh, that's sad, but at least you left her something. And I bet she liked you a lot. So, Eren's like, I think so, too. At least I want to say that. At least I want to at least think that. Anyways, enough with this depressing crap. Let's eat. Or let us eat. Or let me make you something for us to eat some dinner. She's like, okay. Izuku, Eren eat or makes, dinner for them, and she's like, oh, when did you learn to cook? Izuku's saying, well, I knew for a while, just like, give her the whole backstory of he learned to cook, for himself before, but then he, died, and now he learned different types of cooking, so, yeah. And she's like, oh, alright. And, yeah, now they would go to sleep, and, well, 2 weeks pass by. Eren gets his whole, you got accepted. With a frown coming from Mom saying, you do anything, I will defeat you and bring you to jail. But then wishes him, also, welcome to your Hero Academia. Yeah, Izuku's like smirking because he knew like this was hard for All Might to do. He's like, guess you didn't like doing this. But he would think nothing of it and just telling his mom he got in. Now, Uraraka would try to, give him points, but he already had enough. So, yeah. So, which actually not leading to Uraraka having more points in this. So, yeah. But, anyways, Izuku, Eren, I'm going to retcon something just so my own sake, because I know I'm going to keep saying Izuku and get mixed up with Eren. Izuku will be, or Eren would be actually named, both 2 different names. Izuku, given by his mother, but also Eren. He would tell her his actual name, but she's like, oh, can I just call you Izuku? And he was like, alright, I don't mind it. You've been calling me it for like, since I was born. Or since I was born to this world, so I don't mind. And she does ask if anyone else knows. Him just saying yes. Also, sorry if I'm mixing your old things up, if you don't understand what I'm saying. They're talking a little more. Because she is curious of, like, if anyone else knows his secret. He would say yes, he had a talk about it with, UA, because they saw him use his power, because he's quirkless. She would ask for a demonstration. Izuku would look at her, just saying, yeah, I can't. She asked why. Him saying, I would break the entire house, and probably everyone else, the entire mansion. Not the mansion, the old apartments in this area, in this block. Not in the block, I'm stupid. In the building. She was like, oh, is it really that big? Izuku says, yes, my Titan is quite big. It's regular size technically, but compared to other things here, it's quite big. Now, well, word gets out that a quirkless person got into UA, but surprisingly had a quirk. Now, guarantee Bakugo knew Izuku was doing this, for a guarantee, yeah. So, yeah, anyways. Oh, I should also explain something. Eren would have not met Uraraka before the whole thing, because he was more confident. Bako would have just not been, pissing off Deku, or Izuku, because, Izuku. So, yeah. Anyways. First day of UA. Now, well, Izuku goes in, or wakes up, gets changed, the whole thing of, get ready for school. Gets a, backpack set up, and says, oh, waves off to his mom saying, goodbye, I'm going to school. She just waves off saying goodbye, have a good first day. Izuku takes a train, gets there, He did see 2 other people that he did also have UA uniforms. It was, well, a person with red hair and white, Shoto, black hair, Momo. Those. Momo's the ship, by the way. And they were, well, talking. They're not in new relationships, they're just talking, they're good friends. And yeah. Well, they also noticed Izuku, waving him over, and Izuku gets up, saying, "You two also going to UA? What class are you guys going into?" Shoto had just said 1A, and Momo saying 1A. You? Him saying 1A. And they're like, "Oh, damn, we're all in the same class." And then Momo would ask, "Oh, um, what's your name?" Him saying, "Well, how do I explain this? I have two in a matter of ways, but you can just call me Izuku Midoriya." She's like, "What do you mean two names? Did you change your name or something?" He's like, "No, but it's complicated. It's better if I don't explain. My other name is Eren. I don't care what you call me, just, whatever you prefer." She's like, "Alright, I'll call you Izuku." Shoto just says, "I'll call you Izuku." And Izuku just says, "So, what's with the depression boy over here?" Pointing at Shoto. Mama giggles, saying, Shoto's like looking at Izuku saying, "What the fuck you just say?" He's like, don't piss up, don't freeze him to death, don't freeze him to death. But he's like, "Oh," Momo's giggling. "Okay, it's fine." And she was like, "Oh, he has some family problems, though he probably won't talk about it." Shoto's just saying, "Yes, I'm not talking about it." Izuku saying, "Oh, alright." And she's like, with Shoto saying, "Do you know who I am?" Izuku saying, "Yes, you're Shoto Todoroki, and you're Momoya Rozu. Your company is very wealthy, while Todoroki's dad is the number two hero. Though, from your mother having an ice quirk, I'm guessing you have it half and half. I'm guessing fire and ice." Shoto's like, "How can you tell?" Izuku saying, "You realize quirks can, well, mold with the body and make your body look different, right?" Pointing to the hair. He's like, Shoto looks up and just like, "Oh yeah." Getting out of his dumb state for a second. You know. And like, but he just looks at Momo and says, "I have no idea." She just she just makes a pencil saying, "I have a creation quirk. I can make anything," and, get the whole explanation of that. And Zuko's like, "Oh, can you make this?" Getting the duffel bag out of, I'll say yeah, also had a duffel bag when he left his home, saying, "Can you make this?" Showing the sword. She's like, "What is that?" And it's kind of like, you see like a little ribbon, or kind of a little piece of metal connected to his whole, to the thing, but she can't see. It's just like, what's that connected to? He would just say, "It's my support gear." And he would just say think of a grappling hook system that's on the waist, but it also has the sword, and he kind of holds he basically holds the sword, detaches it and reattaches it, saying I have 8 swords in total, but I have 2 of these, so I have 4 for each one. He's like, "Oh, that's very genius. Are you good with the old grappling system?" He says, "Very. I used it for my entrance exam test. I did the papers and I did it." She's like, "Oh, that's so cool." They hear the, eh of the train. Because, yeah. Anyways, they get off and they walk into class 1A. No one's there, because Shoto and Momo are kind of the first. And they would wait. They basically are like, this is the new deck group. Shoto was in there before, but Momo's now in that. And, well, next would be Ida saying, "I should have been earlier. I need to be ready for this. I need to be more heroic." Izuku gave him the one eye over, and, well, he would ask, "Your name was Izuku Midoriya, right?" Izuku's saying, "Yes, what about it?" How'd you get into UA? You're quirkless." Which makes Shoto spit out his soba. Looking at Izuku, saying, "You're what?" Momo as well. Izuku looks at Ida, saying, "Really, man? You really had to do that to me?" And Eraser is awake, and he's like, "Drama. Lovely." And, yeah. Izuku saying, "I'll explain But, actually, I should rephrase this. Um, Ito just says, wait, you said before that you wanted to be a quirkless hero, right? Izuku says, yes, what about it? But you turn into that big, humanoid monster thing. Izuku's saying, I call it a titan. Or, it's called a titan. He says, titan. Cool name. Thank you. But how do you have a quirk if you don't have you know, how do you have a quirk if you're quirkless? Izuku's saying it's not a quirk, and once everyone is here, I'll explain who I actually am and how I have it. Just wait a little bit, okay? He would have just says, alright, fine. Because he realized, like, he's gonna find out. It's just, like, he realized, like, Izuku does not want to, tell every individual person. So he waits. They wait and wait. With everyone, in the classroom now, and, I also remark saying, alright, everyone, shut the hell up. Says that they're not here to make friends. And put these on. But Izuku would raise his hand up saying, can I tell them something? Can I tell them, or can I say something to the class? Sensei? Japanese, sorry. It's respectful. You have to be respectful. And he says, about me. And he's like, that me thing about me, you? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. I might as well tell them before they think I'm a monster. And he gets up and walks to the front, saying, hello everyone, my name is Eren, or my name is Izuku Midoriya. Though, two of you know I have a second name, Eren Yeager. Now, you must be asking yourself, why does that kid have two first names and two last names? The answer's simple. I'm not from here. I'm actually from another universe, or another world. They're like, what? They're like, what? What do you mean? And he says it's backstory, saying, I grew up, and where I come from, there's things called titans. He says that some of you know what my titan looks like, some of you don't. But think of me as a giant humanoid figure. And they imagine it's like, okay. They don't get a perfect titan what it looks like, but they can give him like, oh, he looks like a bigger self of him. So yeah, like Bago hearing he has power, just not a quirk. He's like, what? And he's like, Izuku also tells what he did, and it's when they first hear that he's a killer, and it's like, Mina says, what? Sensei, he's a killer. You need to arrest him now. Iris is just saying, let him finish. Is saying, I did it so my family and friends and my people can be free. Where I come from, there's these people called the Marlins. Explaining who they are and everything like that. Now everyone's like, oh shit, this man's been through hell and back. And they ask him, why'd you kill so many? Izuku saying, I had no choice. People looking down sadly, but still saying, people thought of us we were demons. We basically fight like demons, but we aren't demons. We've all had things taken away from us. Family members, friends, lovers, the works. Saying that his friend, or his commander, or once commander named Levi, lost his entire group towards a titan. And he became cold. And I lost my mother. I saw her get eaten. And also says what, everyone else's backstories are. They were like, how are you sane even? As Zuko says, because I need to move forward. I can never look back. If I look back, then I'm going to regret, or I'm going to suffer. So, yeah. They're like, okay. And, Aiza says, are you done with the sappy backstory? And they're like, Sensei, how are you not, sad of what happened? He says, he's already told Yue and everyone knows about his past and stuff. You just learned about it. I had time to process it all. So I'm understanding of why he did it. Yes, I don't like the fact that he killed people, but I understand why. So yeah. Now, well, everyone's like really like no one's scared of they're just concerned of him, which leads to not as many people talking to him. Though Kaminari still talks to him, or, Kaminari actually talks to him this time, and unlike the other MHA, and says, he says sorry for what happened, and Izuku, just says it's fine. I've, grown to live with the pain. That's what you can do. But they would go and they would change. Now, no one would see, Izuku's body because now, but they would do see like several scars. And one across his leg, or one across his, arm. That looks like it was a big, scar, like a circle one. They would ask what it is. Izuku asking, looking at it and just says, you don't want to know. They're like, come on, tell us. Well, one of the perks of being a Titan shifter is regeneration. I can regenerate from anything. Like, watch this. He cuts his hand off. They're like, oh, why'd you just do that, damn it? And it regenerates. And I'll say, for plot, whenever like a severed limb of him comes off, it kind of like, does a bond and, the blood disappears and the arm also disappears. Or anything that got cut off or, blood or anything like that. It's basically a non-mess thing. So, yeah. They're like, oh, damn, you're very strong, I'm guessing. He says, yes. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go out. Putting his shirt on and goes out. Now, well, they go out and the girls actually would have listened in. Now, actually, you know what? I'm going to do something. Before Izuku goes out, to Aizawa, he sees a pew Mineta. Now, Izuku just says, Mineta, right? Was it? He says, yes. Do you want to peek too? Izuku's saying, no. But something I learned about women. Seeing I actually have my own kid in the other world and my own wife. You know the best thing to do to get a girl? Mineta is just saying, what? Don't be a pervert. And if you do that, if you be a pervert one more time, whispering and Mineta is like, I won't, I'm sorry, I will never do it again. They're like, what did you tell him? It's saying, you don't want to know. If you guys want to know, he said, I'll become a Titan and smash your brains in. Basically that. And other such lovely, things of Mineta. Maybe turning into an ornament or other things, but anyways, yeah. Terrifying the shit out of Mineta. And, well, Jiro, having her quirk, would actually hear this. She, like, the old, oh god. At least that's one way to stop a pervert. She would say this out loud. And Momo would ask, what do you mean? What did they say? She said that Eren kid, that Izuku, stopped a pervert from peeking on us, but scared him half to death. They would ask, what did he say? She would say, and they're like, oh shit. But like Momo would hear that he has a kid in his other world and other things. She was like, what? Isn't that weird? They would ask why. What if he gets married here? Would he have two wives or two? And if he ever has a son, two sons, or maybe a daughter? And if he able to go back, what would happen? They ponder on this, but they don't think much of it and go outside. Girls still wearing the girl uniform for the UA training uniforms, and boys doing the same. Now, everyone took a little longer, but Izuku came out first, and he was like, oh, at least you came on time, or at least you are reasonable with your time. Izuku's just saying, why? Recording! Sorry, when I was recording, I had to tell my mom didn't know I was recording, so just yelled. Sorry if that was bad on anyone with the earphones. So, yeah. But anyways, Izuku would, get tossed the ball, No, it wouldn't be him. It would be actually Bakugo. Because he got first place. Now, he would just says, throw this as far as you can. Bakugo saying, die! Everyone doing their own thing. Now, when it goes to Izuku saying, can I use my Titan powers? Aizawa just says, sure, I don't mind. Izuku says, okay, one sec, bites, you know, um, um, ask Aizawa for it. It's not even. Aizawa's like, what are you gonna do with it? He still passes. Izuku just lifts his hand, just passing it back to Aizawa, saying, to activate my Titan powers, I need two things: a motivation or a want. I want to something a desire. I need to become a Titan, and a injury. Raising his hand up to show the scar or that his hand, the wound. And well, lightning, and he does ask for it when to get back. They do, and well, kaboom, Eren. Now, this actually would have been his armor tightened. He was like, I saw yells at Izuku saying, what? That looks different than before. What the hell's that? Izuku just saying, clicking his shoulder and says, or with the mouth saying, armor. And he's like, what? The what? And Izuku say it again, armor. He's like, armor? Izuku would nod and, or his Titan head would nod and, well, raise his hand down to, well, basically wanting the ball. Aizawa would put it in. Izuku would kind of like look at it like, when you can like have a little crumb in your finger and you're like, your finger and thumb are like touching it. It's like he's like that, and he just like flicks, flick, and it goes like a 10,000 meters. Why? Plot. And they're like, what the hell? That was a flick. I was like, he looks down and he's like, oh shit. That's a lot of power for a flick. They'll look at the thing and says, that what? And Baku's like saying, what the hell, Izuku? How the hell are you better than me? Trying to blow up Izuku. What Izuku does, he basically does the old talk to the hand, and Baku goes straight in, like, he goes, explodes, goes try to hit Izuku, but, well, I saw not knowing what he was about to do. Well, he basically got, splat on Izuku's hand. Not, hurting himself, but it's like, you can hear you hear like the armor kind of feel like it hit something. Baku lands on his back and just says he's unconscious because of the impact. Like, Aizawa looks down at him, like, not pissed off, he's like, are you stupid, boy? He, checks for vital, he sees vital, he checks around his body, he realizes he just has a, dislocated jaw, but anything other than that, he's good. But everyone's seeing now Izuku as his Titan form, they're like, why does it look so scary? But then they see smoke coming off Izuku's back. Izuku waving down saying, how did I do? Aizawa yelling and saying, get down here and come look for yourself. I'm not yelling it. Izuku just, shrugs and, well, goes down using, just jumps down. Yes, he kind of sprained his ankle, but it heals quickly. And he did have a limp for a second. They ask, "What? Why were you just limping?" And saying, "I fell from a damn height. I fell from a high feet, and I landed straight on my feet. That's gonna hurt." And they're like, "Oh, your regeneration, I'm guessing." Like, our Shota says that. I guess your regeneration helps. Interesting. And well, now that he was to see the 1000, says, "Huh, cool." With the Titan, well, disintegrating in the background. And Jose says, huh, that's good for cleanup. Izuku looking over, now seeing the Titan, just dust particles. Says, yeah, I guess. And, well, Jose says, can I ask a question quickly? Izuku says, sure, what about it? Can you, if you, have a kid, can they inherit this? Izuku's saying no. They would be like a regular person, but to get the armored Titan and the, other Titan, it involves other things that I'm not explaining. Aizawa says, why? Because it's very disgusting. And I've done it before and it's very disgusting. Aizawa's saying, try me. Well, you know how seeing my Titan, Titans have my Titan has the entirety of, having, what's it called? Having a spine. You know how there's like fluids in your spine? He goes, yeah. You get that, you inject yourself with that, and you eat the person while like being a Titan. And like, I thought I was the only one to hear this for because everyone is changing now. He kind of left, and I thought he kind of told him to stop. And I was like, oh god. So this could be given to anyone else, right? I suppose Izuku says yes. Why? He's like, oh no, I'm just curious. It's well, he was about to say it's kind of like, but he stops him from saying that. Izuku says, it's kind of like what? Yeah, I could tell you're about to say something. Izuku says that it's private, and Izuku says, really now? My information was private, and yet I told you. Or at least I showed you guys, but then explained afterwards. Aizawa says, as All Might, I can't explain. It's his secret. Itsuku looks, Aizawa, giving the once over saying, you think he's gonna say anything to me? Aizawa realizing, yeah, he won't, and just says, fine. He has a power that can be transferred. That's all I'm saying. Aizawa's saying, oh, okay. And he says, you're not surprised? Itsuku's saying, my power can be transferred, so it's not much different. The only thing is, it doesn't turn... Or, the only difference is one turns into a giant behemoth of a man. The other makes the another one very strong, I'm guessing, right? And he says, yeah, basically. So, yeah. Now, I do believe that's a good spot to leave it off. I'm gonna go have dinner. So, yeah. And, well, tomorrow I actually will be doing What If Bell was a, Dark Knight. I have the pictures. I just want to know, which one you guys wanted first. I was going to do both. I just wanted to know which one you guys wanted to do first. Or the more desired one first. So, the more desirable one. So, yeah. But anyways, I do hope you all have a lovely day, a lovely life, and wear a mask.